Hey, my name's Luke, and in this video, you'll see how I made a box. Starting with this beautiful piece of maple burl, I used a vertical bandsaw to make a flat surface to reference all of the cuts from during this project. Due to the irregularity of the workpiece, I had to end up using a handsaw to cut off excess material that I did not want on it. It ended up taking an hour and a half to cut through this extremely hard material. The next step was to begin cleaning it up in preparation for the resin pour. I started doing this using an orbital sander and 80 grit sandpaper, but then I realized I could just use a planer. I then created a quick and easy plywood mold that would just be cut off after the resin pour. This pour would be done in 2 stages using eco-epoxy flow cast. This first pour uses mica resin powder in an attempt to match the color of the wood of the box and also provide some opacity so you can't see into the box from the outside. The second pour is done using clear epoxy to help capture the beautiful exterior and interior grain structure of this maple burl. Once the resin was done curing 3 days later, I then took it back to Rogers Hall and cut it out of the mold using the table saw. This would also help create straight edges for the final top coat pour. I then created the silicone mold for the final pour, using a box that was just over the dimensions of my current lid. I then poured clear epoxy over the top and used a heat gun to remove any excess air bubbles. While that was curing, I created the actual box itself out of aromatic cedar. When the cure was complete, it was easy breezy to remove the piece from the silicone mold. While we look at this footage of me polishing, I'd like to mention some of the mistakes I made along the way. My initial mold was not watertight and did not end up keeping the resin inside, leaking it all over the place. This did seal it up for future pours though, preventing any leaks there. My silicone mold had a lumpy bottom and I ended up fixing it using Scotch tape, but I should have applied more pressure to create a flat and level surface. After a month of many lessons learned, grave mistakes, and a very, very messy kitchen, it's time for the box. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for stopping in.